Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2C TV, your global news channel. I'm Maya 2C and this is your breaking news update coming from East London, specifically in Canary Wharf. As over the last few hours we've been getting a bureaucratic chaos in Canary Wharf as the illegal migrants and so-called asylum seekers have been moved from Epping, the obviously infamous Bell Hotel in Epping, after the allegations of sexual assault against a young local girl. They moved them to Canary Wharf, to a luxury hotel, the International Hotel, and as we speak, they're on the ground. We have problems with the actual other buildings and the apartment blocks who are currently having emergency meetings with the local residents. We do have an update, a leaked statement from one of those essentially the buildings who are currently trying to reassure the local residents that they will be increasing security concerns and everything else. There's also a small protest that has been outside the hotel. The bureaucratic chaos outside has also been primarily in the hotel because of the fact that the guests of the hotel had to basically be cancelled. And some of them turned up and they were denied entry, and it was a complete mess of a situation. We're going to show you some of the videos. Before we do that, just a big announcement. Our latest 2CTV Plus documentary, Faith Deficit, is now live on 2C.tv. You can actually now join 2CTV Plus using the promo code FAITH25 to get 25% off annual subscriptions of 2CTV Plus. Of course, go watch it and of course download the 2CTV app. Now, let me show you the first video. Of course, the police had to be deployed outside the Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf, mostly because of the fact that the security in Canary Wharf, because they have their own private security, they were not able to contain the situation. Not because, for example, there was any sort of riot happening. That wasn't the issue. The issue actually is, and the media has not really been reporting this, is the concerns from the actual local residents, as I said. And they also know that moving illegal migrants from a place to another place, it could always become a little bit problematic. Let's go.
For a peaceful protest. No one's not doing anything.
How they're coming for? Around 20. Exactly that.
As you can see, there's also been a small group of protesters who also went outside, peaceful by the way, and nothing too major when it comes to that. We had the 2CTV reporter Niak Gorbani on the ground. Unfortunately, he was forced by the police to leave. They put a condition on him, but it doesn't really stop us because we are in touch right now with some of the local residents. I'm going to show you the statement from one of those apartment blocks, what they have told the residents. But let's quickly go to the next video from Canary Wharf. We are also still getting reports that, just like all the other hotels, migrant hotels, the illegal migrants are complaining about the food quality that they're getting from these 4-star, 5-star hotels, because obviously they have to get the best food and make sure it's halal and everything else. Obviously the angry locals and some other people from different neighborhoods also decided to come out. As I said, small group, peacefully protest, but they were extremely concerned.
I'm going to go get a bottle of tea.
Yeah, just wanted to put it in there anyway. We're peacefully.
No problem at all. So I understand that's the reason for your protest, but what I've confirmed, or what's been confirmed to me by seniors, is that nobody from the Bell Hotel is being moved here. and that this is not currently being used to house anybody. Well, that's what I've been told, so I'm passing it on to you because I think it's important.
So it'll be at 3 o'clock in the morning in your van.
We are getting some updates about the migrants throwing eggs from the windows.
Nobody from the Bell Hotel.
I live locally and I'm worried about my safety.
Okay, Niak is going back to Canary Wharf now.
Are you worried about our safety? No, you're not.
I know that. Yeah.
He's not worried about our safety. He's only caring about their safety.
Only time will tell, but that's what I'm told.
You don't care about people's safety, and that's your job.
How about my kids' safety? How about when I'm out with my wife and my kids?
That I don't know.
That's a lie. Why are you all using lie? That's all you ever do is lie. Tell the fucking truth to us.
One of the people have already told me on camera, by the way, that they did receive people from the Bell Hotel.
Yeah.
They've already said that already.
Yes.
Well, right, so we've confirmed with Essex Police and with Essex Local Authority. That's not the case.
You would say that.
No, but
would
they've
say
said
that.
it
That's
from
exactly
the
what
already.
Can I ask you, because obviously just from a public safety point of view, understand fully that this is a peaceful protest, and that's what you're all saying. I've got no objection to that. In terms of
Why can't you protect us? Why are you
I'm here to
protecting
protect
them?
everybody.
Yep.
So my ask of you is, can you tell me how many people are likely to come to your protest?
No.
And can you tell me?
I'm not part of a protest.
what time that
I just
protest
heard
is
the
gonna
news and
start?
I live locally, and I'm angry.
Yep.
No one's not organised anything. You know, it's not like...
I don't want to be walking here with this happening on my doorstep.
On the social media, so it could be
Absolutely, but what's important is that people are correctly
on this island.
and what's important is that people are correctly informed. So the information I've given you with regard to the Bell Hotel and people being transferred
You're
here.
giving us those.
Big shout out to AY Audits, by the way, for being there on the ground as well.
Been
We don't
confirmed
care
by
if
Essex
they're coming from
Police
the Bell
and the local
Hotel
authority
or
in
not.
Essex.
We care about whether they leave.
Yeah, but as I said, big shout out to AI Audits and others for also being there. Niak, obviously our 2CTV reporter, who was forced by the police to leave, he's now going back to Canary Wharf with his press bib. That's a condition that they put on Niak. He's on his way now back towards the Britannia Hotel. As I said, the situation outside the hotel is actually peaceful, as you can see. Small group of local concerned residents, but the chaos inside the hotel and the bureaucratic chaos in the neighborhood with the actual buildings. The real scandal, by the way, here is that they did this on purpose. You had the illegal migrants in the hotel, the Bell Hotel in Epping in Essex. There were some problems, allegations of sexual assault. The local people in Essex kicked off. The authorities thought the best thing they can do, move the migrants from an area like Essex, send them to Canary Wharf in East London, because that area is more young, middle-class, professional people. Very cosmopolitan, very much London. They thought that probably would be a safer option. No one's going to really complain. They probably don't even care. They were absolutely wrong. As I said, we have our also sources, some of the local residents who have been in touch with us to give us one of the statements from one of these buildings to actually tell us what's actually been going on with the estate team at Landmark Pinnacle. This is the statement. Hi everyone, I wanted to let you know that we are aware of the recent developments regarding the relocation of asylum seekers and refugees to a nearby hotel. We understand that some of you may be feeling concerned, especially following the protests in Epping. Please rest assured that the estate team is taking this seriously. We will be sitting down to review and discuss all our security options to ensure the safety and peace of mind of all residents. We will keep you updated and will communicate any changes or improvements that we decide to implement. Best regards, Shakir, the state team. The fact that even people, the management, for example, for these residential buildings, the local council, the authorities, the government, they know. On the one hand, they want to tell you everything's fine. These are like lovely, peaceful political refugees and asylum seekers, but they also admit we're going to have to increase our security. Now, there is right now emergency meetings happening at the Pinnacle. There's also this one actually, I can confirm, was from the Wardian building. They are all having emergency meetings right now, the management, because the local residents inside these buildings are not happy. These are the things that the rest of the media is not showing you guys. You know, they might show what's going on outside the hotel with a small group of people peacefully protesting, but the main issue is what's going on deep inside this local area in Canary Wharf. But that aside, of course, the police had to be deployed because they knew, as I said, that the Canary Wharf private security themselves would not be enough. Let's go.
Just step inside the bus.
About the Bell Hotel, though, is it's about you dropping off 1,000 undocumented men into a society.
Coaches. Lady, come in. She's next door. There you are.
From the Home Office.
No, she's from next door.
Yeah.
We have some people who don't understand actually what's going on in Canary Wharf. There is a comment from an ignorant person saying they are visitors, not residents. No, they are the residents or in the buildings, the apartment buildings next to the hotel. They live there. They're not guests. They're not visitors. The people, the guests of the hotel, some of them were told that your booking has been cancelled. Some of them didn't receive it. They came, they were denied entry, they were not too happy. That's a bureaucratic chaos for the hotel management anyway. Obviously, these guys panicked. That's why they had to get the police, because they realized, oh, there could be a few others who could kick off. Obviously, nothing violent so far, no one kicking off. But the reality is that they knew they messed up. They thought they could keep this quiet. They thought this is going to be a very silent, quiet, almost secretive, not really that secretive, but quiet relocation. And no one is going to care, or no one is going to know. But as I said, those who have been denied entry, obviously they're still basically trying to find a way to understand why the miscommunication happened with the hotel management. Let's go to the next video.
To arrange another hotel for us.
Come to the store.
Niak is on his way. Okay.
Why? Why?
They're all confused. It all
Why
happened very
you
suddenly.
still online? That's a booking.
These are the guests, the visitors.
You are told the agent to stop the booking.
Idiots. Even the hotel management, they're traitors. It's poor tourists as well. But the biggest thing that we're kind of dealing with is the fact that they think by just moving people around. Forget about the fact that, as I said, they did this on purpose. They thought they could get away with it because Canary Wharf is more middle class and young professional. But they just think they can just move the problem. It's not about moving the problem while you're still doing it in the country. But again, as I said, big shout out to AY Audits and obviously Niak, who's now on his way back, on all the others who are doing a great job on the ground. Let's just show you some of the more disruptions when it comes to the hotel guests who thought that they could have a room, but now they can't.
We're going to police. How do you want to police?
Yeah. Yeah. But they do nothing.
I told the police.
Yeah.
How can they said cannot enter.
Yeah.
This is the ring bell for check-in.
We could get the next one.
It's cancer. Yeah. You have to rebook new one. Unfortunately,
What a mess.
They don't let you go in.
That's Nyack. I mean, it's not really that shocking anymore. The fact that people are outraged, but they're not really surprised, is actually a sign of a whole new problem. It feels like the establishment are thinking, well, the British public could get angry at times, but then we can still take them for granted. You can't. Things will kick off. And right now, we are getting some unconfirmed reports about some of the illegal migrants throwing eggs at protesters from their windows in the hotel. I'm waiting for our reporter Nyack to get to the scene to send us the evidence if they're still doing it. But we'll find out. Let's go to the next video. More guests being cancelled.
I actually booked a room, but they cancelled his
Wow.
reservation.
They're going to let you go in.
What a mess.
Guys, we actually have now a gentleman, James Wilkinson.
They don't care.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah.
I love how they're just leaving these visitors just hanging just outside.
How much was the room?
80 quid.
So it's actually on Friday, it was taken over by the government to be used as a migrant processing centre. 550 rooms, they're ferrying them now. I presume you'd have to go to booking.com and
This is the Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf.
We'll see what we can do.
you would have thought they would let you know though, wouldn't you?
Would have been ideal, but it's not their fault, is it? But I mean, they've probably been
Well,
told.
well, not the staff fault, but the management. It's their fault.
We'll see.
They accepted this. Obviously, one could make the argument that it was central government essentially taking over the hotel, but at the end of the day, the hotel ownership and management were the ones who gave consent, not the staff. Some of the staff employees were also complaining, and they were pushed out. But the people at the top, they also decided to say, yeah, feel free government, take over, give us some money. As long as you give us a little bit more money than the existing guests who have already been booking their rooms. The whole thing is disgusting. The whole thing is weird. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. On the issue of what's going on in the West and what's going on, for example, in the UK, everything obviously goes back to the war on our values, the war on our culture, and the identity of the Western Europeans, obviously, who need to be protected. And this is the result of decades and decades of neglect, but also betrayal from the political left, the liberal progressives, and all those in establishment who ruined this. And society started going the wrong way for decades and decades. In the name of liberal secularism, we lost our values. And of course, other ideologies will want to fill it. For example, Islam. If you stop going to church, that church is going to turn into a mosque. But there has been a revival. Young people in Britain, in Belgium, in France are converting on this issue because it's a very, very important topic. And that's why I thought that it will be important for us on 2CTV Plus to also cover this. We have now published our latest documentary, Faith Deficit, which is exactly covering this. Let me just show you a few seconds.
We always need to be focused on something that's bigger than ourselves.
That was a moment that I should have died.
What if there's no heaven? What if there's no God?
Commands that Christians and Jews should be killed.
The Western civilization built on Christian culture.
And that's just one example of a Christian church whose lands were usurped by Islam.
And there's only one group that says it like that.
How dare we applaud Ramadan?
We do see the fragmentation of society.
The world is like, crush everybody in your way, get to the top.
On the other side, we have an ideology of false religions.
So that's our latest 2CTV Plus documentary, Faith Deficit. As I say, you can watch this exclusively on 2CTV Plus. You can become a member today using the promo code FAITH25 to get 25% off annual subscriptions of 2CTV Plus by going on 2c.tv or find the direct link in the description. All right, it's a limited offer, by the way, the 25% discount. Let's get some reaction from you guys. While we wait for Niak to get to Canary Wharf for us. Captain says, well, they flee poverty to come to the UK to waste food by throwing eggs, assuming this is true. We'll get that confirmed. Makes me think, were they really that struggling to eat? Well, they saved enough money to pay thousands to people smugglers to cross the English Channel. Star Helix says, Canary Wharf, are you kidding me? They want a riot. Again, I think they were just being very complacent and arrogant, thinking, as I said, that, oh, they're young middle-class professionals, they're not going to complain. You'd be surprised. It's actually, ironically, it's the same people, the young, liberal-minded middle classes are the same people, even those who are political, the people who would go to the protest and chant, all refugees are welcome here. This is the same people. When you ask them, would you take a refugee into your house to help? Say, well, no, not in my backyard. Not in my backyard. Somewhere else. Someone else should do it. That's the problem, the hypocrisy. That's why they're kicking off. Because it's actually now happening in their backyard. Anyway, how much tourism revenue is being lost because tourists can't stay in hotels? But that's a whole different issue as well. I mean, my priority would be about the security of the local people. But actually, that is also a very, very good point, considering that you stopped what they've ended up doing. For example, the government will pay the hotels almost like a subsidy, but the money is coming from the British taxpayers. As opposed to, obviously, when it comes to tourism revenue, that comes from foreign money. People from foreign countries bring their money into the UK. But this is, the hotel could be happy. The hotel could say, we're still making money. But it's the money that comes from the country, from the taxpayers of the country. So the whole thing is a complete a weird bubble that they've created. Anyway, Pure Blood TV says, catch you at the New Media Conference. Yes, 9th of August, guys, in London. Our New Media Conference. Make sure to check out the link in the description for that as well. Join us. Let's get some non-super chats. We've got Miriam saying, I live in the area and this move is completely wrong. It is a high-class working people, so this is not going to be accepted. I mean, the biggest issue that you have, because actually there's a very good point in regards to Canary Wharf itself, because Canary Wharf is essentially a financial district. It's like a mini Manhattan. They've got the tall buildings and skyscrapers, but itself as an entity is a private land and they have their own private security. Obviously today they have to get help from the London Metropolitan Police. But overall, that bubble, it's a very small area, that is primarily filled with, as I said, the young professionals, the middle classes. But right next to it, which is still technically Canary Wharf, it's not Canary Wharf, it's Tower Hamlets, you also have a lot of ordinary people, working class people, who are also there. By the way, Tower Hamlets, the wider area in that part, has been taken over by the political left and Islam over the last few decades. In the name of diversity, cultural diversity, that whole area has already been ruined anyway. But there are only a few, let's just say the white local East London English people who are still there, mostly elderly. And I have spoken to them. And last time I was actually a political candidate when I used to do party politics years ago. They were quite concerned, but they knew that they were going to be pushed out, and they basically surrendered. They said, well, I'm getting old now, so this is the end for me. Everybody else left. Everybody went to Essex. Rick says, don't tell me Migrants have taken Canary Wharf. But I think the Tower Hamlet has already been taken. Canary Wharf is just symbolically the final place, which, as I said, is kind of making the liberal professionals angry. We have, let's go to the members of 2CTV Plus, because we actually have AJ Audits is saying starting to kick off there now. Eggs are being thrown at the hotel or from the hotel. I need to find, okay, I'm still waiting for our 2CTV reporter Niak to get there to find out what on earth is going on, but we'll get that confirmed for you guys shortly. What's this? 77 million pounds a year to house them there, and all staff lose their jobs because of the illegals. What a joke Britain has become. High Priestess says, so they are sacking all the staff, sacrificing the tourist industry, all at the cost of the taxpayer. It's a lose-lose situation. Yeah, of all the policies that the central government would do in these situations, what they're doing now is just completely mental. It's a lose-lose-lose situation. There's no compromise. There's no like, okay, it's not the perfect situation, but we'll tolerate it. Everything they're doing is wrong. Betrayal. Pork says it's a great look for UK tourism, and not to mention all the staff now out of work. AFC says that it's getting busier there. I'm surprised the leftists haven't been mobilized yet. Don't be surprised. They'll probably turn up soon. They just have to finish their avocado coffees in Islington. They're going to get on their Ubers and their Bolt taxis. Someone says that they are gathering. And Lady Jo Windsor says Britannia Hotel are a disgrace. Time and time again, these have sold out to the British public. They should stop using the name Britannia. I agree. Take it away from them. Let me just find out what's going on with the egg situation. If I could get confirmation. I'm guessing obviously some of you have seen this on other live streams from those who are on the ground, including probably AY Audits, but I will wait for that first. Messed up. David says they should return the eggs with some bacon. Exactly. Actually, if they throw eggs, I think people should throw bacon at them. It's the only weapon you could use. I'm not advocating for this. I'm not condoning bad behavior. It's bad enough that you crap all over the Brits, but now you're prioritizing these illegals over tourists. I'm not doing it, by the way. I'm not in charge of government. The UK is already a level 2 warning on the US travel advisory. It's a little bit embarrassing, isn't it? The UK, it's time to revolt. If not, you are finished along with the EU, except Poland and Hungary. I will live under Putin before Islamic law. You don't have to pick between the two sides. It's not binary. How is Tommy on your stag do? He got on the plane and joined us. I have lost, actually, Tommy. I don't know where he's gone. But yeah, for those who don't know, we are in somewhere. We're in Spain, somewhere in Spain, for my stag do or bachelor party. Yes, Tommy Robinson is somewhere. I have no idea where he's gone, but we'll find him. The Liberals support the illegals until it's at their doorstep. Again, it's just the hypocrisy that we've seen time and time again being exposed when it comes to these idiots who keep saying, oh, refugees are welcome here, but just not in my backyard. Anyway, the most important thing is, of course, that we're going to keep you guys posted as we wait for Niak Gorbani to get back to Canary Wharf wearing his press bib. And as I said, we have the Faith Deficit documentary that's now being officially released exclusively on 2CTV Plus. Make sure to use the promo code FAITH25 to get 25% discount on annual memberships of 2CTV Plus by going on 2c.tv. I'll find the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.